Welcome back. Well, crime rates are on the rise in some of our regional towns, and Townsville in Queensland has been hit particularly hard. Some of it, as you know, in country towns is related to the growing use of illicit drugs, including and particularly ice. Some of it relates to gang behaviour and some of it's parents who don't parent. In 2019, Townsville had over 35,000 recorded offences, 35,000. And in February this year, Townsville experienced its worst month for home break-ins over the past 20 years, a total of 625 break-ins over February, or about 21 break-ins per day. Queensland Coalition MP is a federal MP, Phillip Thompson. He's the member for Herbert. Now, he's a first-term MP. He's a former soldier and a wounded Afghanistan veteran, and he's been banging the drum on this issue from the moment he got elected. He wants change, and he joins me now. Phillip, thank you very much for your time tonight. It's a really sorry set of statistics. I've been to Townsville many, many times. It's a terrific place to visit, but I tell you, I wouldn't be going there on a holiday. And of course, if people aren't up there and they're not tourists, it hits the economy hard. Tell me how bad it is before we get into, why and how we might fix it.
Thank you for having me. It's extremely bad here. This is, we're having a crime epidemic, and it's pretty much through the catch and release program that Labor state government's got going on, and they're putting crims before community.
Look, some of the statistics, they do bear mentioning. Unlawful entry, as I said, is up. This is break-ins. Car theft has gone from 592 instances in 2014 to nearly 1,000 in 2019. Drug offences, they're up to nearly 6,500 in 2019. I think one of the worrying statistics for me, 76% of children who faced court in 2017 were Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. Tell me how the impact of that's affecting the community.
Oh, it's a major impact in the community, and I want to start by saying the police do a fantastic job. They really do, but it's about legislation, and we really need to not have this revolving door for youth criminals, because you have a kid, they're criminals, right? So we're not going to be saying just youths. They're breaking into people's houses in the morning, released in the afternoon, caught again at night, and because breach of bail isn't a crime, they get a nice little, slap on the wrist, and they're back out doing it again.
So what needs to change?
Well, we need to breach of bail means you go to jail. We need to stop the revolving door of you go in, you get out, you go back in, and nothing else happens. We really need to be stronger on these youth. And to be honest, we need to send them back, out country if need be. But there needs to be punishments for people breaking into people's houses and stealing their cars, because the police, who do a fantastic job when they go to a house and they tell people, hide your keys. That's not good enough. It's the legislation from the weak state Labor government needs changing. Where
are the Indigenous elders here?
There has been some Indigenous elders come out and speak out against this. I've spoken to a handful as well that are calling for our young Indigenous youth to go back out on country, go on to farms and things like that. We've got a guy up here who works with his wife, the Toombies. They had over an 80% success rate for troubled youth who would do a certificate, then get employment, but funding got cut.
And what's been the response of the Queensland government? I mean, surely my sister, this is anecdotal, I know, but my sister was up in Townsville recently. She said it's out of control. The community are angry, and everywhere she went, she was on there for a short period for a break, but she said it was just raised with her constantly. How do locals feel about this, and what sort of action do they want from the Queensland government?
So we have three Labor state members of parliament here, and they've been quiet, they've been silent, and now because it's election year, they're jumping up and down. They have always put crims before the community, and to be honest, it's disgusting. And now because it's an election year, you've got Palaszczuk and Trad and whoever the state attorney generals, I wouldn't even know her name, who flapping around saying, oh, we need to be doing more. You've been in for 5 years. People have been demanding more. You haven't listened. It's time to pack your bags.
All right, Phillip Thompson, I have to leave it there, but we'll stay across this issue. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thanks for having me.